Hey everyone. I know it's been, I think, actually close to a month since the last time I posted a video, and I said I was going to be posting more. Well, technically this is still more, but the reason why it's been so long is because pretty much a few days after I posted that video where I'm like, oh, I'm going to talk about being a mom and stuff like that. Well, here's what happened. I started to get sick, and I didn't feel well, and it turns out that I was having what's called an attack of diverticulitis. Now, I've had diverticulitis, which is an extremely bad infection. It hurts really bad, and it's in your colon, believe it or not. And I've had that a lot, actually, over the last 3 years, and the doctor that I had was a total and complete douchebag about the fact that I was breastfeeding, and, oh, well, you're gonna have to pump and dump for this one medication. Well, I can't do that because my daughter, who's only 3 months old, or she wasn't even 3 months old, actually, she was 2.5 months old. I was like, she won't take a bottle. It's just not a thing that she does. Okay? And he was like, well, that's the only thing that we can do. There's no substitute. And if you guys are wondering, that medication's name was Flagyl, which there is a substitute, just so everyone knows that there is a substitute for Flagyl that they can give you instead of Flagyl. It just costs a little bit extra money. But if your kid's like mine and you're a woman who's breastfeeding, you don't really have a choice. My daughter will not take a bottle. It's not a thing that she does. I wish that she did. She finally is taking a binky, so I think I might be able to start giving her a bottle, but I'm also afraid that if I do that she's not gonna want to latch on me anymore, and she's only going to want a bottle. So I'm worried on that. Anyway, so since he wouldn't find me a new antibiotic to take with Augmentin, which was the one that was safe for breastfeeding, I only took the Augmentin because if y'all are wondering why I can't take Flagyl while I'm breastfeeding, it causes tumors, especially in infants that are breastfed. I'm not going to put my daughter through that. I'm not going to do that. That's ridiculous. So I was finishing my course of antibiotics. I'm feeling like shit still, and it's a 10-day course of antibiotics. I feel like absolute garbage. And I drive to Portland, which is 5 hours away from where I live, and I'm feeling okay. I take my daughter out and we go and look at a river. Everything's good, everything's happy, everything's going good. And then I get to Portland, which is like 2.5, 3 hours away from where I was, and all of a sudden my stomach is really hurting, and I'm in a bad mood, and my stomach hurts, and my best friend's husband even mentioned, I don't think Kiera is in a good mood. And she didn't even know. So the next morning, and I was so exhausted that I pretty much fell asleep from like 7 o'clock until the next morning, waking up every few hours to go to the bathroom and just move around because I was so uncomfortable. So they go to church in the morning. I'm not a church person myself, but they go to church in the morning, and they come back, and my best friend and I have a vacation. We're supposed to leave that Sunday to go to a town called Newport, Oregon, and it's on the beach. We're going there, and she's packing up her stuff. She's got all her stuff in the car, and I'm like, hey, we're gonna have to take a detour. And I go to a hospital in Portland, and I still find it the most amazing hospital ever. That's where I had my son. It's where my mom got diagnosed with cancer, and that's where she was in the ICU with pneumonia and where she passed away. And they treated her amazing. They made her last few days so comfortable and so amazing. I will never, ever, ever ever forget that. And then, so I go there, it's middle of the afternoon on a Sunday, no one's there. I get in, I get out, under 3 hours. Perfect. Now, this like never happens. It just like happened to be that way that day, okay? That's just how it was. So, here's the thing. I got a nurse practitioner. I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. In fact, I loved her. She was amazing. She was like, okay, we need to do CT scan. I'm like, well, crap. I've done so many CT scans. I know I'm going to get cancer because CT scans are basically just to make a bunch of radiation into your body. And she's like, I know, but this is like all we can do. Your white blood cell count is almost double. And I'm like, well, crap. So I go in, like 30 minutes later, she comes back, well, you have an abscess and we want to keep you in the hospital. And I'm like, that's not happening. My husband and my other kids are 5 hours away and they don't have a car that can make it up here. And I have an infant. It's just not happening, lady. So I was like, is there anything else? Anything at all that I can do? And she's like, well, the normal course of antibiotics is Cipro and Flagyl, and you can't take any of those when you're breastfeeding. And I was like, oh, interesting. I didn't know about Cipro, but I did know about Flagyl. And like, mind you, like this lady went above and beyond. She made sure that even though it was an excruciating pain, that she made sure I could have Tylenol, which I can. I'm not allergic to it. But I'm allergic to ibuprofen. It makes me, like, if I ingest it orally, I end up vomiting blood. That's another story for another day. And there's a medication, I want to say it's called Toradol or something, and it's a shot. It's a cousin of ibuprofen. It is safe for breastfeeding, and she made really sure that it was 100% safe for breastfeeding. And sure enough, it was. They gave me the shot, and I was literally relieved in a matter of minutes. She was just above and beyond. And then she's like, well, let me go and look on what antibiotic, because I was like, look, I'm not staying in the hospital. So I go, and they give me, she gives me a prescription, and she made sure, she went through all of the antibiotics that would work, and she found the one that was the safest for breastfeeding. And she is amazing. I will be forever in her debt. It was one antibiotic once a day for 7 days. This was over a week ago. It's not like 2 weeks ago. And let me tell you, y'all, my colon is good. She went again above and beyond what anybody really has to do. So that's why I haven't been posting. Now, when I decided to make this blog post, I wanted to make an impact. I'm a mom, first and foremost, above everything else in the world, which means I don't have a lot of time for myself as it is. I'm also a wife, and I'm a friend, and between all of those things, honestly, I don't do self-care very much, and very well, apparently. And I let myself get really sick, and it made me think over the last month or so about how, like, stay-at-home parents, not just us mom guys, because there are amazing stay-at-home dads too. We all need to remember that, yes, we are parents, and parents first and foremost, but we need to take care of ourselves as well. If we're not feeling good, we either need to take it easy, or we need to see a doctor if it doesn't get better. I waited so long and was in so much pain when I went to the emergency room. I was almost in tears. I had to have my friend come and pick me up. She watched my daughter while I was in there getting a CT scan, and I made my youngest daughter, my 2.5-month-old at the time, and she was amazing. She's also the one who did my hair, which actually looks really good. You just can't tell because of the lighting. It's black brown on top, and then it's red underneath. So we really need to remember to take care of ourselves. That is a thing that we need to do as human beings, because that's also what we are. We are moms, and we are dads, and we are wives and husbands, or we're single, and whatever. We need to remember that we are also people. We need to make sure that we get care ourselves. That is a huge thing, and I forget it as a person. And I'm like, no, I need to take care of everybody else. No, this is a thing that I need to do. I mean, okay, honestly, I'm writing a book right now, and I haven't gotten very far, but what I have gotten, everybody that I've shown loves. I haven't taken the time for myself to write lately. Shh, shout out, I'm making a... Okay. Hold on, everybody. Come here. Come here. Yeah. This is my kitty. He has to sleep with me and love me. He also must cuddle my baby to make sure that she's okay at night. And he wants to be in my face and be loved right now. He's about 20 pounds and a Maine Coon. I'm also a pet owner. It's another thing I do. We have to remember to take care of ourselves. It's like the #1 thing that everybody always forgets. Alright, there you go. Especially me. I'm like, oh, I gotta take care of my friends. I gotta take care of my family. I gotta take care of my husband. Where does that leave time for me? I'm supposed to be writing a book. I should have a schedule. I should be writing at least a page a day, and it's not happening. And that's because I don't take the time out of being a mom, out of being a wife, and out of being a friend. Get here. I don't take the time out of doing all of that to be me. I've been everybody's mom and wife for so long that somewhere along the line I stopped dressing how I wanted. I had my hair how everyone else wanted me to have it. I forgot that I can look pretty. That I am comfortable in black clothing and black and red clothing and corsets and gothic clothing. Okay, let's not mince words. That's how I like to dress. That's how I like my hair to be. Does that mean I'm a depressed person? No. I'm actually more depressed in bright colors and in the middle of a crowd than being alone or just in a group of like 5 or 6 people. Then I'm happy that way. That's how I am. And I have to remember that it's okay to be that, even though I'm a wife, even though I'm a mother. I can dress pretty. I can wear makeup that makes me look pretty. I can, okay, pardon my bangs. For some reason they just want to... I can have bangs. I can have fantasy colored hair. I can do things. And I forget that a lot. Because I'm so focused on everybody else that I forget to be myself. And I've struggled with depression my entire life. I still love my mother even though she's not here anymore. But there are a lot of things that she told me that it was not okay to do, or not okay to dress like, or like, I had told my mom that I thought I was into women when I was about 14 years old. And her reaction was, no, you like men and you don't like women. Liking women is wrong. And at 14, I was like, okay. I can't say that she oppressed me, but that's a thing that happened. And it's okay to like women. I found out much later. And it's like, when you're an adult, you can be who you want to. And honestly, I was an adult for 2 years. I was 18 and I got pregnant at 19. So I wasn't able to really discover fully who I was. Or like, I guess I did discover, but then I lost myself in the translation of being, or not translation, but the transition, the transition of going from a teenager to an adult, and also from a teenager who didn't have any children to a young adult with an infant. Which, let me tell you, you guys, an experience. So I've been a mom for almost 9 years now, and somewhere along the way of the journey after I became a mother, I lost who I was, and I'm finding myself again, and it's still hard to do, but I think that I can do it, and I think that I'm going to get back to how I want to be. So I'm hoping that these vlogs also help. I also understand that they're mostly going to be vlogs and not Let's Plays anymore, because my Let's Plays have to be quiet and I have to have the time, and by the end of the day, when I can make a video, you know what I don't want to do is sit here and play a video game and make a video. I want to sit here and play a video game with my friend or read a book, which I'm a big reader. I haven't done that in over a year either, because having kids doesn't give you a lot of time. So I hope to have more of these at least once a week. I mean, I think I can at least talk into a camera once a week, and I doubt that this is really going to be a big thing, but I'm hoping that I will... See? It's 11 o'clock at night and I'm exhausted after coffee and energy drinks all day. But I hope that I can at least once a week sit down and like make a 15-20 minute vlog that I don't think anybody's ever gonna watch, but you never know. I really appreciate those of you who do actually watch my videos. So thank you, and with that, I'm gonna let y'all go, and I'm gonna go to bed. Good night.